Alright, so as we've established, mansions are coming to the game in the winter DLC, but what actually is the winter DLC? Because obviously mansions are going to be a part of it, but there's going to be a lot more added than just the mansions. So I thought that in this video, we would discuss what this DLC could potentially be. But before we get into anything, guys, we are trying to get 20,000 subscribers before GTA 6. So if you could subscribe, it massively helps the channel. So yeah, the winter DLC. Let's start by talking about what we know is coming, and obviously that is the mansions. We've made about 5 videos on them at this point, but we know the mansions are coming to the game, and we know just before the December DLC, we're going to be getting some brand new missions called the new listing missions, which is basically around setting up and helping build these mansions. Not actually like that one mission from Red Dead 2 where you're building the house. I mean, we do a little bit of illegal work to make sure they get built, but that's before the update. And obviously the big part of the winter DLC is the mansions themselves, and we've discussed before whether they're just going to be, you know, a static property to flex or if there's a business behind them in the video where we go over how much they're going to cost. But I'm still personally under the belief that in this winter DLC we see these mansions be some sort of business or some sort of buying to the update. I don't think they're just going to be a property with no other function. I believe there's going to be something behind it. So let's discuss what that could be, and optimistically we'll start with a heist. Now loads of people have been asking for a new heist. It's been like 5 years since Cayo Perico came out, and as this is going to be the last update in GTA Online, it could make sense for a heist to be, you know, the last update, you do one last massive score and then you retire in your fuck off mansion. But at the same time, heists are massive updates to make and plan, and it just takes a lot of development time, a lot of resources, which of course is now gone into GTA 6, and we're at the final stretch of this game's life cycle. So although on the one hand it makes sense for one last big score, on the other hand it doesn't make sense from a development point of view. Now I would love to see a heist, but at the same time I'd taper your expectations. But if they were to do a heist, I think personally we could be robbing Mr. Faber. Now obviously a lot of people want Michael in this DLC, and maybe Michael has some gripe with Mr. Faber, but they introduced him in the Money Fronts DLC, and he is a big, you know, kind of powerful character. So much so that Martin Madrazo has to basically bow down to him. This is a wealthy bloke, and if anyone had something worth stealing, it's gonna be him. Also, he kind of just gives off villain vibes, I won't lie. But they've built his character up to be this big powerful character, and I don't expect to not see him again. I could easily see them bringing him back, like it makes sense to. So if there were to be a final heist, I wouldn't be surprised if it was robbing Mr. Faber and then have some sort of way to tie Michael and Lester into it again. But on the other hand, the mansion could potentially serve as a business or some sort of alternative revenue stream, and I think it might have something to do with this brand new character here. And this new character is a character called Valentina, and she was spotted exiting Mr. Faber's jet in the cutscene where we go to meet him, and she's talking on the phone about some sort of real estate and cracks a joke about how, you know, big the taxes are in Los Santos. But we haven't seen or heard anything from her since, and I think that's because she's going to be coming back in the winter update. I think she has something to do with Pricks Luxury, which is the place we're going to be able to buy these mansions from. I think she's a representative, or she just works for Pricks Luxury in some way, and she's going to be the contact we go to about buying these mansions. And potentially the mansions have some sort of revenue stream to them, whether it's some sort of passive income like the nightclub or there's a business behind it. I think she's going to be the one who phones us telling us to buy these mansions for one reason or another. But if not the mansion being the business in this update, I do think we are going to get some sort of business in some regard, and I think she's going to be the contact behind it who phones us telling us to buy it. So when it comes to the mansions, I think optimistically we might get a heist or we might get a business behind it. But even if the mansions are just mansions, they're just a purchasable property with no buy into the DLC, I think it is likely we get some sort of other property or business we can partake in. And for the rest of the DLC, of course, we're going to get the standard stuff, some new cars, hopefully some new aircraft. I'd expect all the vehicles in this DLC to be wealthy vehicles, very expensive vehicles to match the theme of the mansions and the theme, of course, of Pricks Luxury. I think that also there's potentially a chance the update is called something Pricks Luxury or something luxury like that. Just putting it out there. But yeah, that's just a couple of ideas what this winter DLC could be about. Of course, if you have any ideas, any suggestions, any theories about what this update could be, go ahead and comment it down below and comment some stuff you'd love to see. But thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.